All right, our third one is calcium and an oxygen combining together, so one atom of each. All right, so when we start, right, we have to look at where our electron dot diagram, so where are they on our periodic table? So calcium right here, I know that it's in the second column, so it's got 2 valence electrons. So let's get 2 valence electrons out for calcium, right? Oxygen, if I look over here, it's right there. Now remember, the last column has 8 valence electrons, so I'm going to count backwards. So 8, 7, 6, right? It's in the 6 valence electron column, so oxygen has 6. So I'm going to put 6 valence electrons around oxygen. So now let's figure out, okay, who's going to be the giver and who's going to be the taker, right? And the idea is, right, the rule of thumb is 0 or 8, right? Every atom wants to get to 0 or 8 to get an outer ring that's full, right? So I see that calcium has 2, right? It has 2 choices. It can gain 6 more or take 6 more electrons and get to 8, or it's going to lose or give away its 2 electrons, get to 0. It's going to give away its electrons, which means that oxygen has to be my taker, right? So in this case, oxygen has 6, right? The easiest way to get to a full outer ring is to get to 8, which means it needs to get 2 more electrons. Luckily, calcium has 2 electrons to give away, right? So if I look at it, calcium is going to give 1 electron there. Calcium is going to give another electron there. Now, calcium has 0. Oxygen has 8. That's exactly what we want, right? That's always what we're shooting for, 0 or 8, right? In ionic bonding, that's always the case. So now we know that the 2 atoms have changed, right? And if they've changed, we need to show that, hey, we put brackets around it, right? So now they're combined together to make calcium oxide, right? So if I look at it, now we need to say, okay, calcium lost 2 electrons, which means it now has 2 more protons than electrons. Oxygen gained 2 electrons, right? That means it has 2 more electrons than protons. So it's got a 2 minus right there, right, to show that. Now there's 2 ways you know that you did this right. One is one of the atoms has 0, the other atom has 8, all right? That's 1, that's good, all right? The second thing is these 2 charges, the 2 plus and the 2 minus, cancel each other out, right? Because a molecule as a whole should be neutral, right? So therefore, we have a good ionic bond between calcium and oxygen. Let's move on to number 4.